start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karnede Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyema Shadiryajatraha Stirairangaihi Sustuvakam Sastanubihi Yashema Devahitam Yadayuho Swasti na Indro Vriddashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastakshorarishthanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying the second chapter of Mandukya Upanishad. We have finished the first two Kārikās. There are totally 38 Kārikās in this chapter, 38 verses. The primary focus of this chapter is to analyze one word, Prapancha Upashamam, which occurs in the seventh mantra of Mandukya Upanishad. In the first three verses, Gaudapadacharya analyzes the dream experience. Swapna Vaitatyam, the falsity of dream. This is quite easy to understand because dream is something which we all experience and then it goes away. After this comes a very important topic, a mind-boggling topic, which is Jagrat Vaitatyam, falsifying the waking state. Very difficult to absorb, very difficult to get convinced because we are in the waking state. But suppose you rise to the level of Turiya, the higher nature, then it is easy to look at waking as false. Exactly like looking at dream from the waker, we can accept it. Similarly, what Gaudapadacharya says is, don't analyze waking as false from the waker standpoint. Analyze it from the Turiyam standpoint. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss this week and next week. The first topic is dream is false. The second topic is that the waking is also false. That starts from the 4th verse till the 18th verse. 15 verses are there explaining to us the nature of the waker. With reference to Turiya, not with reference to the world which in waking state. With this, I will go to the portion of where we stopped last week. That means we have to start Karika number 3, which is this portion. I will first play the verse, how the verse is chanted by Vijaya.
Abhavascha rathadinam Abhavascha rathadinam Shruyate nyayapurvakam Shruyate nyayapurvakam Vaitatyam tena vaipraptam Vaitatyam tena vaipraptam Swapna ahuhu prakashitam Swapna ahuhu prakashitam.
So here, Gaudapadacharya says that the objects in the dream, like chariots, like horses, which we dream, they are not real, but we experience them. When we experience them, it appears real, the dream state. But when we have woken up to the waking state, we conclude that our experiences are not real. Always remember this fact. Whenever we study Mandukya Upanishad, and when the Mandukya Upanishad declares that waking state is unreal, it is false, it is only from the Turiya Avastha, which is explained in mantra number 7. Many people don't understand this fact. Therefore, they get totally confused. How is it possible? How is it possible? They look at the waking state from as a waker. So in this verse, we are talking about the dream. Dream is Mithya. Mithya means it is available for experience, but factually it doesn't exist. How does this come about? There is a Shakti. Due to Nidra Shakti, this power of sleep, which we all have, the fact that I'm a waker gets covered, veiled. And then what happens? Because of this Avarana Shakti of the Nidra, what happens? I project a dream. This is a phenomena. It is happening. What we have to understand from the Shruti is to understand our experiences as it is. The Veda is only telling us that this is what is the world. Vedantic Upanishad is what is kept in mind by Gaudapadacharya. This particular verse of Vedantic Upanishad, when he uses the term chariots. In Vedantic Upanishad, in chapter 4, Swayam Jyoti Brahmana, third section, this verse comes. There are no chariot, there are no animals, there are no roads, but the dreamer creates all this. There are no pleasures, there are no joys, there are no delights in the actual. There is no delight, there is no pleasure. There are no tanks, there are no rivers, but all these are created. Who is the agent for this? The dreamer. Who is the dreamer? It is the same waker who is appearing in the dream. This is how we have to do avastha traya viveka. This is a methodology. It is a process of discrimination. Why do we need to discriminate this dream world the way which Vedantic Upanishad is trying to explain? Because we all ultimately want to arrive and be the Turiya Avastha, which is without any world. That is what the Upanishad wants to make us understand as our nature. So body cannot accommodate the real chariot, horses, because it doesn't have space. So how can I experience them within the body? Jiva is therefore creating all the projections, all objects in his Swapna Nadi. Prashna Upanishad Bhashyam, which I'll be taking up in Saturday sessions, asks one clear question: what happens in the dream state? Shankaracharya very beautifully describes, he says, that the jiva moves through the nadi, and when it moves through the nadi, it projects the dream world with all the light. See, there is no light in the nadi. But then what is the jiva projecting? He's projecting even the light. Mental projection is unreal, is a conclusion which we have to arrive. Swayam Jyoti Swayam Jyoti is not a pramanam for Atma. What we are saying is use that. Veda is the praman for knowing things which are not knowable through the pramans. So Veda says, I am the Turiyam, the light of consciousness, in which all the three states are appearing and disappearing. A little bit of detail about what is a source of knowledge. Pramanam. Shankaracharya says, Pramanam means it should reveal something which is not available through other sources of knowledge. That is called as anadikataha in Sanskrit. It should be a unique source of knowledge. For example, eyes are a pramanam for form and color. The ears cannot know form and color. The ears have got a unique source. They can only hear the sound. To know the external world, I don't need any other pramanam from the Vedas. My eyes are enough. My eyes are enough to know the external world. My ears are enough. So there is an apurva subject, uniqueness, which the Veda pramanam gives to us, which reveals, Veda reveals consciousness. Consciousness is not revealed through the eyes. It is not revealed through the ears. Each of our sense organ has only a specific field for revelation. Veda Vakyam is a Pramana Vakyam. And what are Anumada Vakyams which support the Veda Pramana Vakyam? Anuvada means it endorses the Pramanam. The unreality of the dream is already known to us without the Veda. Swayamjyoti Pramanam is a Pramana Vakyam with reference to the Atma Jyoti. See, all of us, without even coming to Upanishad, we will say, okay, the dream came, it went away, therefore the dream is not real. But what is the Veda telling us about the dream? It says that the light in which you see the dream is the Jyoti of Atma. Therefore, Veda becomes a Pramana. So, Veda is a source of knowledge for Atma. That is the point we should remember. Now, in the next paragraph of Shankara Bhashyam, he is only quoting this mantra, which I have already quoted to you, 4-3-10. And he is giving us the example of the light in which we see the dream. Real chariots are not there, but there's hardly any space. There is hardly any time. In dream, we experience so many things, but they all happen within a short time. So what Gaudapadacharya wants to say is dream is unreal because it doesn't have adequate space, adequate time, and it is experienced inside the body. Therefore, dream is unreal. Just see the logic part of it, because that is what we have to continue in our next topic. Atma cannot be revealed by Surya, by Chandra, by Agni, by Vidyut, by Vak Jyoti. That means Atma, the light, the brilliancy of the light in which we experience the waking state. It is not, we don't experience the waking state only with our sense organs and the mind. There is a light which goes through the mind, through the sense organs, and then the world of objects is revealed, which all of you know because you're all senior students of Vedanta. I have explained this in Dakshinamurti Stotram. Nana Chithato Deepak Prabhavaswaram. That verse you should keep at the back of your mind. So without any other light, Atma reveals the objects within the dream. It is the internal light of Atma, Atma Prakashaha. So Swayam Jyoti Pramanam, for the self is Pramanam, is a source for the self-effulgence of Atma. See, there is nothing in the world which is self-effulgent. What about the sun? Sun has got the light, but it cannot be perceived till I am there. The consciousness has to reveal the sun. Consciousness has to reveal the sound behind the ears. If you all remember, na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, that mantra which comes in Kathopanishad, Mundakopanishad, Svetasvatara, same mantra. Keep at the back of your mind when I analyze these verses. Kathopanishad says, Neha nanasti kinchana, which we have meditated upon. A few weeks back, we did this meditation. Ultimately, what is the Veda trying to tell us? This entire world of dream, waking, sleep is an appearance. It is a superimposition on consciousness. And this verse, Neha Nanasti Kinchana, what does it say? It negates it. It negates all the superimpositions and it reveals Atma. Kaivalya Upanishad, na bhumi rapo na chavani rasti, na chanilo bestin na chambaram cha. This verse also is a verse which negates the world as only appearances. So Swapna Mithyatvam is reinforced with all these verses. Vedantic Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, and Kathopanishad. So that is what is discussed in this third Karika. Very simple. It's quite an easy thing to understand. Swapna is Mithya. Next, we go to the fourth Karika.
Antasthanatu Vedanam. Antasthanatu Vedanam. Tasmad Jagarite Smritam. Tasmad Jagarite Smritam. Yatha tatra tatha swapne. Yatha tatra tatha swapne. Samvritatvena vidyate. Samvritatvena vidyate.
From this verse, the second topic starts. The second topic is, the first topic was dream is Mithya. The second topic is waking is Mithya. It starts from this Karika number 4. And for 15 verses, means till 18th Karika, we are going to only discuss why we say waking state is an appearance. There is no factual existence of the waking state. It is an appearance. It is Mithya. In the first Karika, the fourth Karika, Gaudapadacharya says that dream is perceived, drishyam. Waking is also perceived, drishyam. Therefore, both have got the same nature of perceptibility. Therefore, the logic is whatever is happening in dream is very similar to whatever is happening in the waking state. The only difference is in the case of dream, there is limitation of space for the dream objects, whereas in the waking state, there appears to be very large amount of space available. This is the first Karika. He's going to develop on this Karika further and further. But in this particular Karika, Shankaracharya writes a very big comment. This commentary runs into 36 slides. But anyway, I will explain to you as we go by. It's a long commentary of Shankaracharya for this particular Karika. The essence is very simple. Essence is that waking dream is perceived through the dream body. Perception takes place. It is drishyam. In Drishya language, dream is drishyam. Waking is also drishyam, perceived by the sense organs together with the mind. Therefore, it is Mithya. Okay, so that is what is being the essence in this. But Shankaracharya, when he writes his commentary, he takes us on a long route of Tarka language. I'll explain to you slowly. So, with reference to the waker, we can say Swapna is Mithya. With reference to the Atma, we can say Jagrat is Mithya. Now, what is Atma? Na antar prajnam, na bahish prajnam, no bhaya prajnam, na prajnam, prapancha upashamam. Very important word. Advaitam, Shantam, Shivam. So there is our own nature, which is called as the fourth state. Normally, we are not aware of it. Upanishad is trying to tell me, I can stand alone. I means what? I, the consciousness, which is right now in this body, which I didn't know before. I am that consciousness. I can stand alone without the world. Therefore, the world which, you see, like for example, in the waking state, we say there is no dream world. Similarly, in Turiya, there is no waking world. This is the logic. Swapna, Mithya, Anumanam is in Karika 1, 2, 3. Karika 4 to 18 is Jagrat Mithya. Shruti, Yukti, and Anubhava Pramanams are going to be used. See, in the case of dream, we use the Shruti mantras of the Kathopanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad. So similarly, at the end of this fourth Karika, Shankaracharya will bombard us with 26 verses from the Upanishads, telling us waking is Mithya, waking is Mithya, waking is Mithya. That is an interesting portion. But before that, we have a long way in Tarka language. Now, Karika number 4 gives Anumanam. Now I am going to talk the language of logic. In Sanskrit, it is called as Tarka. Tarka means logic, yukti, reasoning. Now, when we say that dream is an example for Baker's Mithyatvam, so we make an Anumanam, inference, with reference to Swapna Prapancha and with reference to Jagrat Prapancha, we are making an inference. Now, any inferential statement should have four components according to the Tarka, the theory of logic. The first is called as Paksha, second is called as components. These are all the components. Paksha, Sadhyam, Hetu, Drishtanta. I will explain slowly all this, but you as you go through these slides, you will understand. Till the end of the fourth, this thing, you try to just listen to what the Shankaracharya's commentary on the Tarka way of understanding that waking is Mithya. That's all. The object is what? To prove that waking state is Mithya. He is using the Tarkika language. It is an academic discussion. So if you don't follow too much, also it doesn't matter. Only thing is we should know waking is Mithya through logic. Shankaracharya proves it. Let us take example. This is a very unique, very famous example in Veda. Fire is in the mountain because I see smoke. So fire on the mountain is Anumana Vakya, is an inferential conclusion, inference we make. Pratyaksha does not reveal the fire, but we conclude there is fire. If fire is seen directly by my eyes, we don't need any inference. What is the clue? The clue is smoke. I see the smoke, which is pratyaksha, and I infer fire. So the general law I work out is called as vyapti. Wherever you see smoke, there will be fire without exception. Yatra yatra dhumaha, tatra tatra agni. The source is what? Pratyaksha anubhava. I see the smoke. Therefore, I make a law. Now, Drishtanta is the example used in the, is an example. Why do we conclude that there is, because of smoke, there is fire? Because I have seen in Yagashala, I have seen in Homakunda, that whenever there is fire, there is smoke. In a kitchen, in the olden days in India, people used to cook with the help of wood. So when the wood was set up in the kitchen, was set in fire, then there was some smoke which used to come up. So example, Vyapti Bhumi, the definition of the Drishtanta example is that it is used to prove the inference which we draw from it. So we get Vyapakam and we get Vyapyam. Smoke is called as Vyapyam and Agni is called as Vyapakam. So now let us come to the technical words which are used. Paksha means locus, object of study. Like mountain is the object of study in the case. Sadhyam means it is anumanam. It is vyapakam. It is vyapti. Hetu means it is the reason. Smoke is seen Therefore, we say that is the reason for our inference. Drishtanta means it is an example. So these are the four components which are used for proving that there is smoke. Because of smoke, I conclude there is fire. Okay, so these are all the technical words which is only trying to say that there is fire in the mountain is an inference. Now let us come to the Swapna example. In the Swapna example, Swapna Prapancha is the Paksha. Sadhyam means conclusion. Swapna Prapancha Vitatam is Mithya. For Swapna, what we say, there is no Uchita. The reason given Hetu is what? There is no Uchita Desha Kala Abhava. There is no enough space and time in Swapna. And example given is Darpanartha Nagaratva. That means like you see in reflection in a mirror, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamani, that first verse of Dakshinamurti, like in a flat mirror, you see an elephant, you see objects, and similarly is this Swapna. Okay, so we are using the Tarka language to prove that Swapna is Mithya. Okay, so this is the example of the fire in the mountain, where we use the different terms for different, which I have already explained. So smoke is there in the mountain, that is repeated in another portion of Tarka language, where we add one more factor. Instead of four, we add Hetu Upanayaha, we add one more factor, which is called as Nigamanam. Okay, these are all logic. There is a Tarka Shastra, and Shankaracharya only takes out certain portions of the Tarka Shastra and he explains them in the commentary. You don't need to get too much involved, but only understand how the dream is used as an example. Okay. This is the revision portion in the slides. I have already covered most of it. Now, what happens to Jagrat Prapancha? Swapna Prapancha is understood now. Space-time is not there within the body. In the case of Jagrat Prapancha, what we say is there is space. And Jagrat Prapancha is the Paksha, Mithya is the Sadhyam, Drishyatvat is the Hetu, Swapnavatu is Drishtanta. For proving that Jagrat is Mithya through the Tarka language, we use Swapna as an example. The reason is Drishyatva. That you should never forget. Both are, you see, Shankaracharya is trying to explain that Drishyatva given by Gauda Padacharya in this Karika number 4 through the Tarka language. What is ever experienced is never there. What is always the experiencer is always there, the subject. This is what is Vedanta logic. I'll repeat again. Whatever is experienced, very, very important logic used by Shankaracharya and Gaudapadacharya, which is used in Drisya Viveka as a primary logical reasoning. What is the reasoning? Whatever is experienced the objects is fleeting. It is comes and goes. What about the experiencer, the subject, the drik? The experiencer subject is always there, and it alone is there, is the theme of Vedanta. This is a very important portion for this entire chapter. Try to understand the observed world is drishyam, perceived by the sense organs. Consciousness, Turiyam, is the subject. It is always there. Subject is changeless. What is experienced is changing. Drik is real. Drishyam is Mithya. Why do we call it Mithya? Because sense organs, mind is an upadhi. It is a medium by which we experience the world. This experience of the world through the mind is called as jnana adhyasa. Very elaborately discussed in another text called as Vichara Saga. But here what we should understand is, whatever is experienced through the mind is an adhyasa. Try to remember the adhyasa bhashyam. In adhyasa bhashyam, what do we say? Atma or consciousness is existing in 3 periods of time. The world is superimposed. Waking state, dream state, sleep state, the 3 worlds, they're all superimposed. Atma is nitya, but the world is anitya. So what happens in the case of adhyasa, in the case of superimposition, I get mixed up. What is the mixing up in adhyasa bhashyam? The consciousness, which is nityam, the attribute of consciousness is nityatvam. I superimpose the consciousness nityatvam on the world and say the world is real, I am not real. See what a big power of this Maya Shakti is. This is called as Jnana Adhyasa. If you have not understood, I will explain again in the chat box. Some newcomers may find it difficult, but only listen. First time when you listen, it may sound a little abstract, but if you keep on listening to these theories in Vedanta, you will get full clarity. One day you will say, I understand the whole Vedanta. Maybe right now it may be partially you are understanding, partially you are not understanding. Because these are all technical words. And then there is a theory behind them. What Shankaracharya says is, mind projects the world in dream, mind projects the world in the waking state. It is jnana adhyasa. The sense organs perceive the sense objects. When they perceive the sense objects, the objects appear to be real. Objects, reality is also adhyasa, because there is a power behind the sense organs. Artha adhyasa is with reference to the world outside. Jnana adhyasa is with reference to the world inside in the mind. Yatra yatra drishyatvam Tatra tatra Mithyatva. Wherever it is a perception, it is Mithya. Yatha Swapna Prapanchavad is the Udaharanam. Udaharanam means it's an example. We say that the waking state is Mithya because it is like the dream world which is perceived. See, so much of reasoning and so much of logic, yukti, all that is used by Gaudapadacharya and Shankaracharya. So the Nigamanam conclusion is what the pratignya which I made in the beginning, that the waking state is Mithya, that is repeated in Nigamanam. Nigamanam means conclusion. Because of the five components of the Anumana Vakyam in Tarka language, we can say waking state is Mithya. It's a very long commentary of Shankaracharya. And Gaudapadacharya says it is Drishyatvam. Only one word he uses. Drishyatva, hence it is Mithya. In the Karika number 5, he will say that. Right now we are in Karika number 4. And in Karika number 6, he is going to quote a mantra, Shruti Vakya. I'm just preparing you how he develops this topic of waking state is Mithya. First, he gives the logic. Then he tells us the reasoning. And then he tells us there is a Shruti Vakyam also. What is the 6th mantra telling us? Adav antecha yan nasti vartamanepi tatha. I will explain this to you when we go to the 6th mantra. In simple, what it means is, whatever is not existing in the past, whatever is not existing in the future, is not existing even in the present. This is a very bold statement from Gaudapadacharya. We will see how he says this when we go to that Bashyam at that time. So here, what do we understand? We can't talk of existence of anything unless there is an experiencer in the past, present, or in the future. The experiencer is extremely important. What the drik, the seer, is important. The seer is what? It is consciousness. So observer Chaitanyam is Satyam. Observed Jagat is Mithya. Experienceability presupposes knowability. I know something, therefore I experience. Something's existence means it must be known to somebody. I have a horn, for example. It is never known, and it is never known to anybody in the past, present, or in the future. Therefore, what? It is non-existent. So without experience or consciousness, experienceability of an object is never possible. The existence of the object is never possible. Very, very important facts about Vedanta. Yeah? Experience, that is why in Vedanta, we give a lot of prominence to the seer, the experiencer consciousness, not the body, not the mind. Because body, mind, both are coming and going. Drishyatvat Mithya. Try to remember just one word, Drishyam, therefore it is Mithya. Drishyam means perceived. It is perceived, therefore it is Mithya. Mithya means it is experienceable. It is not like the horn. Horn is never experienceable. There is a third category. What is the first category? Experiencer consciousness. Satya. It is always there. What is the second category? Non-existence. Asat. Totally non-existence. Flower in the sky. Non-existent. Horn of a rabbit. Horn of a human being. Never exists. Asat. It is non-existent. What is the third category introduced by Vedanta? Only by Advaitin. He says there is a third category which is called as Mithya, which is seemingly existent, actually not exist. That is the category in which the dream falls in, rope snake falls in, mirage water falls in, the waking state falls in. Yatra yatra drishyatvam tatra tatra mithya yatha swapna drishya bhavaha. That is the ultimate essence behind this fourth Karika. Main task of proving waking state as unreal is completed in the fourth Karika. What is the main reason given by Gaudapadacharya? World is experienceable, it is drishyam, it is perceived. Anything which is perceived is categorized as Mithya. It is Vaipathyam, unreal. Okay? What do the other philosophers say? Look at this, what they say. World is real because we experience it. What is Shankaracharya's statement? Completely different than all other philosophers. See, even we will be, before coming to Vedanta, before coming to all this reasoning and logic and Shruti Vakyam and and all this understanding of Vedanta, we also will be like this, like the other philosophers. World is real because I experience it. Shankaracharya and Gaudapadacharya in the Karika number 4 are saying that world is unreal because we experience it. It is anatma. It's a very important conclusion you should understand when you are studying Vedanta. Jagrat, Swapna, Prapancha, Mithya, both are experienced. Therefore, the Mithyatvam is common to both of them. Advaitin admits many dissimilar factors between Jagrat and Swapna. See, what Advaita says is only because it is perceived, I am saying it is Mithya. They have the commonality of perceptions. But, for example, Jagrat continues day after day. Swapna is there only for one time. And new Swapna comes every second day. The Swapna is experienced inside us. It is subjective. Your Swapna is different than my Swapna. The sense organs are not used in Swapna. It is a very subtle world of vasanas. Whereas Jagrat is experienced outside the body. See the differences. Swapna is inside. Jagrat is outside. Jagrat is objective experience. Swapna is subjective experience. In one case, Jagrat sense organs are used. In Swapna, sense organs are not used. The Jagrat is a gross world of objects. It is gross 5 elements. Swapna is subtle 5 elements. Okay. Now, even though there are common factors and many dissimilar factors, we conclude because of the common factor, we say it is like tree. This person is a lion. We use this term very much in our common parlance. Do we mean to say that this man also who is walking with 2 legs has got 4 legs and like a lion? No. he only use it, we say the common element is courage. So we only compare the person with the line. Similarly, a person is a pillar of the organization. Pillar means he is not hard like with the cement and all that. He's not inner. This pillar means he's a support. So listener should look for similarities and not the dissimilarities while listening to an example. Vishishtadvaitin and Dvaitins always look to the dissimilarities. Even amongst us, many people will say that why are you taking Swapna and this? You see, I have given you this two chart here, Jagrat and Swapna. Most of us will argue because of these two boxes and say that it cannot be Mithya. But what is common is the perceptibility, jnana, adhyas. Mango tree and coconut tree, both are trees, but there are so many dissimilarities. The phalam is different and so on. So Vaitatyam means mithyatvam. Experienceability, anubhava, is the factor which we should keep in mind. The common factor between Jagrat Swapna is the process of knowing, not the objects. Objects are different. What is another similarity? Waking state experienced objects is anitya, keeps on changing. Dream is also anityam. It is experienced anitya. Dissimilarity is what? Waking mind is fully active. The sense organs are fully active. Therefore, gross objects are seen. It is Ishvara Srishti. And there's a long life for the sun, the stars, and the moon, and the trees, and so many things in the world, objectively. This is the waking. It is dissimilar to dream. Mind is partially active. Sense organs are passive. There is no, in a dream, the sense organs are passive. And this, how do we experience it? Is vasanas which generate the dream. Dream is Jiva Srishti. It has got very short life. But still we say both are Mithya. Why? Because Mandukya Karika number 6 will say it was not there before, it was not there in future, it will not be there in future. It is an appearing. That is why I keep on telling in the Upanishad classes, don't take life too seriously because it is an appearance. It just comes and goes. It is Mithya. All our experiences are Mithya. It was not in the beginning, it will not be there in the end. The world which we are experiencing was not in the beginning before I took birth in this body. And then after I leave this body, the world will not be there. So this whole Jagat is Mithya because, anyway, when we come to that 6th Karika, I will explain the fact later. Here the common factor is Drishyatvam, Anityatvam, Mithyatvam. These are the 3 common factors. Once again, I repeat, Drishyatva means perceptibility. Anityatvam means not, it is fleeting, it is temporary. Mithyatva means it is an appearance. It is factually not there, it is an appearance. So what did God create? Did he create a real world or did he create the unreal world? That is the question that Ajati Vada in the next chapter we are going to study. In chapter 3, we are going to study what is the nature of this world. Is it Nitya or it is Anitya? But here what we should understand, it is Anityam world. It is Drishyam world. It is Mithya world. Therefore, Swapna and Jagrat is unreal. The treeness is common between mango tree and coconut tree. Same jati, Similarly, Jagrat and Swapna both are unreal, both have the same jati. Both unreal is the conclusion of Karika number 4. The dissimilarities again and again, I'm telling you, this is what will trouble you. Objectively unreal, Jagrat. Externally present, still unreal. It is Ishvara's projection, still unreal. Ishvara is creating a Mithya Srishti. It is not a long-lasting Mithya. Swapna is what? Subjectively unreal. Internally present, unreal. Jiva's projection, unreal. Jiva's Mithya projection, unreal. Short-lasting. So what we do not focus is on all the dissimilar factors. We focus on Drishyatvam, Anityatvam, Mithyatvam, and get the Upanishadic message very clearly. This is a big stumbling block for many, many people when they study Mandukya Upanishad. But Shankaracharya's Bhashya and these notes which I have got before you, they make things much more easier for us to understand. Okay, Jagrat Prapancha outside has got sufficient time, space. Differences we do admit. But by focusing on 3 words, Drishyatvam, Anityatvam, Mithyatvam, we can conclude that Jagrat is Mithya. It is one of the biggest challenges in Vedanta to prove Jagrat is Mithya. But the study of Kārikās helps us to at least give a chance to our intellect to absorb this knowledge. Okay? The Anityatvam is explained in detail in the 6th Karika, which we will see later on. Okay, so the Anumanam inferential part, waking state is unreal, like dream is over in the 4th Karika. Okay. Okay, then there are some revision notes here again. If I have not covered, okay. The thing which we say is that in Swapna, we do experience a world. Swapna has experienceability, E. Short form E. Transactability, T. And utility, U. So Swapna has got E, T, U. But still we say dream is Mithya. Why do we do that? Because on waking up, we say dream is Mithya. Similarly, Jagrat Prapancha has E, T, U. This is another reasoning which a lot of people will use. They say it is experienceable, it is transactable, it is got utility, which will come in the 5th month, in the next Karika also. A Purva Bakshi will come and say all these things. He'll say that, how can you say it is Mithya? The principle is you can prove existence of an object only if there is experience or subject, which is Chaitanya Swarupa. Experienceability means what? Consciousness. Suppose there was no consciousness in this body, it cannot experience. So experienceability is what? Dependent. It's a dependent factor. It depends on external factor called consciousness. Without experiencer Chaitanya Atma, which is the subject, there is no knowability, there is no knownness. Without knownness, you can never talk about existence of an object or a being. See, this sentence is very important. Try to grasp this sentence. It will give you a lot of your doubts will get clear. I am the pure Atma. That's what we say in meditation all the time. I am always consciousness, awareness. What Shankaracharya is saying is, without this consciousness, you cannot know anything in the world. That is why in the waking, in the sleep state, there is nothing. We don't experience anything. But but in the waking state, we experience anything. What is the difference between between sleep and the waking? The knownness. But who provides this knownness? There is some external factor which is lending to the waking state the knownness, which is lending to the sleep state the unknownness. So Chaitanya consciousness is the knowingness factor. World is Mithya. It is something which can be drawn. Subject can never be drawn. The I, the consciousness, is always there. Satya. World has got borrowed existence. But what about me, the consciousness? I am the Adhisthana Atma. I am the Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna means the seer, the experiencer. Kshetram is the field of experience. The body, the mind, the world, the entire world is a field of experience. The field of experience has got borrowed existence. I am the real existence. I am the pure existence, pure consciousness. I always am there. I am the Turiya Atma. I am the Kshetrajna of the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I alone enter the Swapna and give existence to the Swapna Prapancha. I alone enter the Jagrat Avastha and give existence to the Jagrat Prapancha. This is a very powerful logic of Mandukya Upanishad. If you don't study Mandukya Upanishad, you will never know this fact. I am the absolute consciousness which can exist independently. Turiya. World has manifestation, unmanifestation. Taittiriya Upanishad, Pravilapanam. We have studied Taittiriya. Pravilapanam means it unmanifests. Okay. So the simple Anumanam is Brahman or Chaitanyam is the Karanam. It's a very simple logic. Karanam is always there. Karyam is fleeting. Chain, ring, bangle is fleeting. The world is fleeting. The dream world is fleeting. The sleep world is fleeting. The waking world is fleeting. And in the sixth Karika, an advanced reasoning will be given that we'll see later on. This is a chart which summarizes whatever we have discussed so far. I am the pure consciousness. I am called as Karanam, the cause, without which the universe, which is a Karyam. See, whenever we use Karanam and Karya, this is a simple way to understand. Karanam means I, like for example, gold is the Karanam, products are there. Similarly, consciousness is the Karanam, the world appears. World is a Karya. Even modern science accepts the world is a product. So it is easy to swallow this logic of creation or projection that the world does not have its own separate existence apart from this consciousness. There is no pot without clay. A product is always possible because of the cause. In Chandogya Upanishad 6.1.4, this logic is given that all pots depend on clay. Similarly, the whole world depends on consciousness. Karyatvat mithyat. World is karyam, karyatvat mithyatvam. Savikaratvat mithyat. Savikara means what? Changing. Vikara. With vikara, with modifications. Sagunatvat karyam. Saguna means the world is with gunas. What would mean the consciousness? It is not a karyam, it is karanam. It is satyam, it is. See, look at the two things. One is I, the consciousness, and the world. I, the consciousness, is satyam. World is mithya. I, the consciousness, is karanam. World is kari. I, the consciousness, is nirvikara. No modifications. I am changeless, always the same. Isn't that our experience? I have never changed. Body has changed, mind is changing, world is changing. Everything is changing except I, the consciousness. I am nirgunaha. I have got no gunas. World has saguna. I am always there. I am not appearing and disappearing. Agama pahi. Okay, these are the simple logic which we use to prove the world is here and I am Satya. The tougher logic is these three other words, Drishyatvam, Anityatvam, and Mithya. Okay? So, I think this is the end of this dissimilar features I have already explained to you. Tree, mango tree also I have explained to you. Okay, so this is the end of the fourth Karika. It is one Karika I have taken. It's a very, very important Karika. You can go through the notes and you can, it has got reasoning. A lot of reasoning is involved. Your mind has to go through the reasoning. That is why it's called as Manana. And Vedantic Acharyas have the courage to declare that the world is Mithya. They have the courage. Because based on what? Based on the Shruti only. See, the Shruti, the Veda, is the proof for all our reasoning. We keep the Veda as the primary source. So here, what is Gaudapada Acharya keeping as the primary source? The seventh mantra of Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, which has got Prapancha Upashamam. The world goes into manifest condition and goes into manifest condition. It is not Nityam, it is Mithya. See how beautifully one word, Mithya, Prapanchopashamam, Gaudapada Acharya writes 38 verses for one word. And Shankaracharya writes huge commentary. 36 slides I have shown you today of Shankaracharya for one verse. So much depth is there in this Mandukya Upanishad. That's why it makes it extremely interesting to study. And for serious seekers who are interested to experience that freedom within themselves. Outside, we can never have freedom because everything is limited. Body is limited, time is limited, outside world is limited. There is no freedom outside. All limitations are there. Time comes, time goes. But in spite of all these limitations, Upanishad teaches me to experience that limitless, intrinsic nature of mind. That is the beauty of Mandukya Upanishad. We'll continue the fifth Karika next week. We'll start with the fifth Karika the fourth Karika was very, very important, at the same time difficult, but we have covered that. So now we can go over to the other Karikas and take each of these Karikas and try to contemplate in your own mind and arrive at that Atma. That is the purpose. Don't lose the purpose. The purpose of all our study is in our own mind, I must come to realize I am Turiya Atma. You don't have to say this to anybody outside. This is a personal self-realization. And then you can meditate. See, the meditation becomes easy when you know the theory. Okay, so with this I close today's talk on Mandukya, Karika number 4. Oh. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudacchade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There are no messages in the chat box. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and you can ask them. Okay. Vijaya, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hari Om Shekharji. Jai Shri
Yeah,
Krishna.
Vijaya.
Okay, the session. Okay, I lost half an hour due to our daylight saving ends today. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
So I'll anyways go through the recording. But I think the half of the session was little overwhelming in the sense I think I need to go through it again and again. How logically. So when we use the same word in Panchadashi, Baddhakatvam Asashvatam Dukhalayam. Similarly, he's correlating it to the Prapancha. It's amazing to see that how I mean there is no, you cannot apply your intellect beyond this, and how he's lashing out on how the word actually is unreal. So, and it's easy for us to let go of that, but a long way. I think I'll have to go through that once
this
again
is
to
an
get.
extremely difficult session. Today, what I have gone through is a very, very abstract, but because of Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, and of course, if you see the notes, it's very, very deep in its meaning.
Yeah.
What you should do is don't look too much at the logic, Tarka language, which is there in the Bhashyam. You try to understand the essence of those essence of the notes. That's all.
For sure. I have one question, especially when you were doing the meditation. I was in the meditation and suddenly I came out of the meditation with this one line. But that one line was when you said the end, towards the end almost, you said that Om signifies the three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. And it is, then you said that when you're talking about the Ukara and Makara, said one is Adhyaropa and the other one is Apavada. The Sushupti is Apavada, and then I'm beyond these three. I'm beyond these three. Now, when I have Adhyaropa, that is the superimposition, and the Apavada is where I am negating it.
That's correct.
So the
all
moment
the superimposition you have done, you try to negate all of them. This process of superimposition and negation will ultimately help you to realize Turiya.
Perfect.
So Shankaracharya in Kathopanishad Bhashyam, I'm doing Kathopanishad Bhashyam now. There he says, in your meditation sessions, don't do only Adhyaropa. He says, do both Adhyaropa and Apavada. In your meditation, you say the three states are superimposed. On whom? On me, the Turiya.
Turiyatma.
Correct. And then what do you say? I negate the three states. By what? By the same mantra number 7.
Mm.
I am not the waker, I am not the dreamer, I am not the sleeper.
Yeah.
So both this, when you do, first you say the three states are there. So you give reality to the three states, and then you say what? You say they are nothing but they are only superimposition. It is only an adhyasa
Yeah.
on the consciousness. That is the first part. The second part is you say waker is mithya, dreamer is mithya, sleeper is mithya, I am Satya. Are you clear now why I said Adhyaropa and Apavada, and that beyond this Adhyaropa and Apavada is your real nature?
Nature. I agree to it, but my question is, when we are saying that Sushupti, where I do the Apavada, that is negation, but Sushupti is an avastha where it's an unknown state for me. I cannot do any Apavada there. It has to be either only in Jagrat avastha through the Jnana Arjuna, right?
See, here what you're doing is not you're not looking at the three avasthas, you're doing everything with reference to I am the Atma, which is Turiya. You're not the waker who is trying to do this exercise of superimposition. Waker and sleeper are the three states of the mind. But here the starting point is I am the Atma. I am in me only the superimposition is happening. Don't miss this point. This is a very important point. When your starting point in a meditation should be I am the Turiya Atma. In this Atma, three states are superimposed. I am not the three states. That I don't bring in the first stage. In the first stage of meditation, first you tell yourself the three states, waker, dreamer, sleeper, these are the three states of the jiva. It is superimposed on me, the Atma.
Yes,
okay?
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I think I have to go to the pedestal of an Atman and start the meditation.
Correct.
Not bottom up, it's up bottom up.
That's correct. No, you got it. See, your starting point should not be and the vehicle on which the the dream is superimposed. That is a lower type of meditation.
Yeah, because when I'm sitting on the branch, the other side of it, not towards the trunk, I cannot cut the branch like how Kalidas had done. So I cannot achieve a superposition when I'm in the lower position.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You got it.
Thank you,
Very
Shankaracharya.
good.
Thank you very
It's a very deep understanding. You got it. Okay. Shanta is next. Shanta, go ahead.
Namaste, Shekharji. It's not a question as such, but I couldn't stop, I can't stop appreciating this Karika 4. So, I enjoyed the logic. I like logic and the Tarka. And it almost felt at 1 second that, I've got it. I think I've got it.
You get that feeling. Yes, that's correct. If you like logic, you will, all people who like logic,
that feeling was,
feel, oh, I got it,
yeah, I felt, even now I feel, yeah, I've got it, because, especially when you started saying about this, what doesn't exist in the future and doesn't exist in the past, doesn't exist in the present. And the smoke, when there is smoke, there is fire, we conclude, right?
Yes.
And the same on all these logics which you went through, it was just so, enjoyable for me today, the lecture, that actually the way the waking, although it has got experience, it has got the feeling, it has got the utility, transaction, everything happens in the dream, and we know it's unreal when we wake up. And the same thing is happening in the waking world. So how can this be real? It was like, I don't know, a bulb lit sort of moment for me.
Yeah,
It almost felt that it was very, very, very beautifully explained. And I just want to thank you so much for this, because it felt that I'm starting to get to that logic now, and I'm getting that, understanding.
Yes, still only in the fourth Karika out of the 38
So
Karikas.
that's what I want to say. Thank you.
See, it's such a beautiful experience of going through these Karikas. It's amazing because the knowledge which you get, you see, the Shankaracharya keeps on telling every time in his commentaries that jnanat eva kaivalyam. Only through knowledge you will get this freedom of moksha. It's only through knowledge.
Even when you mentioned about that eyes can't hear or ears can't see, and so everything has got its own specific area of expertise, as we say.
Yes. All these are, revelations
like a
to us.
neurosurgeon can't.
Unless
Even
you
way
come
I
to
felt that. Yeah. So no, that's what I felt, that it's the Veda which gives you this knowledge. So
yes.
you are not going to get this knowledge by doing PhDs in XYZ.
No,
that's
that's objective. It has its own place. You see, the PhD and it's got its own place. It's got its own value.
So that's why I said that everything has got its own specific areas of
Yes.
expertise, or essential requirements, or whatever you
Good. Thank
call
you,
it.
Shanta.
But if for understanding self, then this is the only place. So I felt quite good, and thank you very much for this.
There is a lot of logic coming in the. See, if you understand, if you like logic, you will enjoy Mandukya Bhashyam. There's a lot of logic, lot of reasoning given in all the balanced 3 chapters, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, all this, especially the second chapter is Yukti Pradhana. The second chapter is Yukti Pradhana, where you just read the 5th or the 6th mantra where Shankaracharya will blow your mind from Shruti. See, now he is doing Yukti, just reasoning. But the 6th mantra, you will really, it's an amazing fact which he reveals. From all the Upanishads, he says, it reveals waking is unreal, which is, he'll give us all the mantras.
I can see a ray of light that I'm walking towards in the right direction. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Venkatesh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a kind of doubt based on something that we discussed today. That we discussed that for a dreamer, within the dream, it is real. Only in the Jagrat, it is unreal.
Correct.
So similarly, for a waker also, in the waking state, it is real.
Correct.
And it is unreal only in the Turiya state.
Yes.
So, does it not raise this question that how much ever we try in real state, in the waking state, we will not reach that stage to realize the Jagat is unreal?
Okay. You are right. See, there are 2 parts to your question. One part is, yes, as long as you remain as a waker, you will never come to a conclusion that the waking is unreal. A dreamer in dream will always, for him, it is waking. A dreamer, it is waking only. So he will, at the time of dream, during the dream experience, he will never believe it is unreal. Now, your question is, I am always in waking and I'm trying to understand that the waking is unreal. Now, this is where you have to change. Upanishad wants you to not remain as a waker in the waking state and realize that it is Mithya. It doesn't want you to do that. Because it will be never possible. What Upanishad is saying is, I have given you the knowledge of the 7th mantra. Now, take your mind off from the waking state, stand on the 7th mantra. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Prapancha, Upasham. Very important word. Unless you are with Prapancha Upashamam in the seventh mantra, then only you are standing on the fourth pada, the fourth leg, the fourth state of consciousness. From that state, look at waking. Look at exactly, you will find there is nothing. Prapancha Upashamam has already happened. That means what? There is no world. From a Turiya standpoint, only you can say waking is unreal. The Upanishad wants you to wake up, uttishtatha, like it says in Kathopanishad. Come on, wake up, wake up to this level, and then look at the waking. In the waking, don't try to, it is all real. That means in the waking, you go through the motion of this whole reality. It's called as waking. Upanishad, you see, when you study the second chapter, you should stand as Turiya. That is what I was telling Vijaya also. Stand as Turiya, and then all the time in our classes, you stand on Turiya and try to understand what the Kārikās are saying.
Okay.
Are you a little bit clear?
Yeah, I think you should force yourself to put you into a position of Turiyam.
Yes.
Within the
Don't
waking state.
identify with your body. With your physical body, you keep your physical body away. Take your mind to the level of Atma. So, suppose suppose you get identified with the physical body, you have Deha Abhimana, you will not understand that the waking is unreal. With Deha Abhimana, with identification to the physical body, you cannot say it is unreal. Even if you try for 100 years, this will not happen. What you have to do is stand, let your mind alone travel to the level. That means your mind, you should try to tune your mind. Sometime for 5 minutes in a day, you should sit down and say, let me just be Turiya. Just practice for 5 minutes in a day. I am Turiya Atma. In me, there is no waking state, there is no dream state, there is no sleep state. I am dreamless, sleepless, wakerless Atma. Only for 5 minutes. Don't go beyond that. Just let your mind get tuned to this thought process.
Yeah.
Again, next day, come back to the same. That is why these meditation sessions which I'm doing are very useful.
Yeah.
From different Upanishads, I'm taking mantras which are telling me about the same Turiya. Today's Kaivalya Upanishad is a beautiful mantra.
Right.
Again, what does it say? That I can't think about Atma, it is formless, it is unmanifest. So now with this unmanifest condition, you put your leg there, you put your mind there as I am that. And then you look at, wait, what happened to that waking state? It is unreal. It was there, it went away. But I am Atma, which I am always there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time because it is not easy. You understand the Upanishad. That is the first part of the study, Shravanam. Independently, you have to do the Manana.
Yes.
And then comes the Nididhyasana. That is the last stage where you say, everything which the Upanishad is saying, is teaching me, is 100% true.
Yes.
And that is your own realization.
Yes.
And that will give you trupti. That has got a lot of benefits. See, Upanishad gives you, first of all, a process of trying to reach your self. Then it also explains to you what all happened at the state of self. Prajahati yada kaman, sarvan partha manogatan. The 55th mantra of the second chapter, Bhagavad Gita. That is the state of a realized master, where you have no desires in the world. You just enjoy your own Atma Tripta. You start enjoying your own nature. And that gives you a lot of satisfaction. There is no other things which can give you in the world any satisfaction. The world of Anatma is full of dissatisfaction only. Because whatever satisfaction you get in the Anatma world is very, very fleeting. It remains for a few hours, minutes, and seconds, and then again you feel dissatisfied. Again, you're looking for something else. Whereas in the case of Atma, especially Turiya Atma, even if you are able to get 1% of that Turiya Atma, a peep into that Turiya, just a glance, that is enough. That will give you something which cannot be explained by words. Good question, Venkatesh. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, Vijay, you have another question or something, or you're finished?
No, I had another question. Probably I'll go after Nanduji because he's also raised his hand.
Yeah, who is that?
Nanduji, I think he's also raised his
Nandu.
hand.
Yeah, go ahead, Nandu.
Ariam, I think beautiful session today. Just like thought, and we always says like think out of box. But here I believe it's not maybe just thinking out of box, but maybe come out of that complete box, and then maybe from over there maybe you can see that, because we always think about like in waking state only we think about it, but that is not our like a reality. But
Correct.
Our reality is something like a different.
That's right. You got it. That is why I'm saying that for a very short time, let your mind slowly start sitting in Turiya Avastha. It's possible. You have to train your mind and say, I am Turiyam. But here you have to use the words of Atma only. Don't use anything else in the world. Whatever is the 3-4 mantras which I have done meditation on, mantra number 7, here today's Mandukya Upanishad mantra, Kathopanishad mantra, just keep 3-4 mantras. Let those indicators repeat in your mind and see whether you can remain just for a fleeting second also is fine. Just read without awareness of anything in the world but except yourself. Because once your mind has got that touch of consciousness of what this awareness is, then you just try to analyze whatever the mantras of the Kārikās are saying. That is the only way to realize not only the Satyatvam of Atma, but also to realize the Mithyatvam of the world. You see, only when you stand on Jagrat as Satyam, the Atma as Satyam, you can declare world is Mithya. Our main attention is only on the Jagrat Avastha, because Sushupti Avastha and the Swapna Avastha, it is easy. How to declare the Jagrat as a fleeting, as an appearance which will come and go. And for those, you must use the reasoning which Upanishad has given. For example, 4 or 5 words we have used. One is Drishyatvam. It is perceptible. Then, second word we have used is Anityatvam. It is not permanent. Third word we have used is Savikaratvam. It is called modifications. Sagunatvam, fourth word. It has got gunas. Then fifth word, Agama Pahitvam. It appears, disappears. Appears, disappears. Isn't it true that the world appears and disappears? In the sleep, it is not there. Again, the sleep comes. Again, the world comes in the waking state. Again, the dream comes in between. Isn't this true? Can I not say that this is what is happening? And then can I not just stand apart from the world as consciousness, as the seer, as the witness? Then, so use these 4 or 5 factors, keep it in your, it's like the fixed deposit. You keep it always with you. That is your security. Turiyam Atma is your security for your lifetime. Once you know how to stand there, you will never be afraid of death. You will never have fear about anything in life. It is guaranteed by the Upanishads. Anybody who can stand and say, I am Turiya Atma, even if you are not 100% sure, even if you are saying 5% with confidence, you are saying it, that is enough. Because that will help you to keep thinking about it. Good. Nandu, please. Thank you for your comments.
Yeah, sir, just to add on the today's meditation also, I think the something similar, it's in Gita 8.9 shloka,
Yeah.
which is talking about Sarvasya Dhataram, Achintarupam, Adityavarna, Tamsa Parastat.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
I think, yeah. So Achintarupam is something similar word,
Yes.
which today's meditation.
Correct. I'm giving you a taste from 4 or 5 Upanishads. After that, whenever you read any Upanishad, once you know that this is what is Atma, every one of you will be able to get another 30-40 mantras from different Upanishads, from Bhagavad Gita, from other places also. The moment Atma is mentioned, like in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ajo Nityam Shasvato Puranam, so many mantras are there. See, the wonder is our Shastra has got such a vast amount of literature in it. But the beauty is all of them are only trying to tell us there is something different than what our eyes can perceive. All of them. You can see so many Upanishads, so much of, you can see Bhagavad Gita itself. 1 verses are trying to tell me I am Atma. So many mantras, but ultimately, what is the one goal of this Bhagavad Gita? I am Atma. Kaivalya Upanishad, I am Atma. Mandukya Upanishad, I am Turiya. Chandogya Upanishad, I am Bhuma Vidya, Bhuma. So many things, but ultimately, the beauty is all of them point to one single goal. Knowing that goal itself is tough. Unless until you're soaked in the Veda, you will never appreciate the single goal of the Vedas. Yeah, okay, Nandu. Vijay, your question? You have put something again on the chat box.
No, that was the answer to the point.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, what is the question you had?
I don't know if it's a question or not, but it is very funny to see that all the scriptures that we read, they say that we have to end the transmigration of jiva. That's how all typically. I'm not saying
Yes.
about Advaita Vedanta per se, because Advaita Vedanta now is actually saying jivatvam itself is a myth.
Yes.
It's only the Atma. But if you really generically see, even for that matter, some parts of Bhagavad Gita or any Puranas, if you see, it says that we have to end the transmigration from the samsara. And then at one side, we are saying, well, the samsara itself is myth.
Correct.
The jivatvam is jiva only has samsara. If you are not a jiva, you are an Atman, there is no samsara for you because prapancha has become upashamana. But if I really calculate the other side of the Advaita Vedanta, where though it says that, even Adi Shankara says, right, Bhajagovindam, Mudamati, Samprapti Sanihiti Kare Nahi Nahi Rakshati. So he is also saying the same thing, that, there is nothing will help you. So the do bhakti and then hug on to the feet of the Lord so that he can take you out of the Maya and the samsara. But Bhagavad Gita, for that matter, says that how do I live in the samsara wherein I don't get afflicted by the pains and sorrows of samsara? So when I have learned to be in an equanimous state where I don't get afflicted with the pains and worries, because from today's meditation, I have realized what is the power of the Nityatvam and what is the weakness of the Anatma, which is Anityatvam, Asashvatam, and all that. So when I have realized that samsara is it's apamagatam, right? It is comings and going and all that stuff. So then
Yeah.
once as a Jiva Mukta goes through, once he does not get affected by the samsara, for him samsara actually doesn't exist at all. So for
Correct.
him
That's right.
samsara is around him or not, it doesn't bother at all. So
Yes.
there is nothing called Jiva's transmigration for him at all, because there is no Jivatvam, because he's given up the Aham Mama. So that particular word of we have to end the transmigration, we have to end the samsara dukkha agni, that doesn't affect him at all, Shekhar-ji.
Absolutely right. You're right. Exactly this. What you're saying is the ultimate realization of a jnani. The jnani knows that there has never been any sorrow in me in the past, in the present, and it will never be there. I am the Atma. That is why the main task of a seeker is to identify this Turiyam. And once that is done, then all other benefits will come to him. Automatically, the benefits will come. And all this realization which you have got now, you will get it. Because the mind will retrain itself to stand on the Turiyam and then evaluate the whole world, which is very well done by you today. Even what you have written in the chat box, Prapancha Upashamam is a very, very beautiful word. It explains the Turiya state. Then there is Prapancha Upashamam. Upashamam means Pravilapanam. Pravilapanam means resolution, not actual outside, only in your mind.
Yeah.
It is only a mental, it is only an intellectual understanding that this whole world is coming out of Turiyam, resting in Turiyam, and resolving into Turiyam. If your intellect can absorb this knowledge, which the Upanishad wants you to realize, then the rest of the things will follow. You're very, very well put, Vijay. I think whatever you have said is correct.
Thank you, Shekhar-ji,
Thank
for
you.
clarifying.
Yeah, Bharat, I'll come back to you. I just want to see how Venkatesh is saying. Venkatesh, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, nothing specific. I'm just going through. No, I mean, see, sometimes when I just see actually all the Upanishads, basically they're saying the same thing actually. But what is happening as a Jiva, we have traveled far away from that Brahman. So it is like a reverse journey we need to do. That is why we need so much of pramana, anumana, so much of explanation and all that actually. So this adhyasa and apvada, when we just see and all, this subject and object relation is very, very important. Drishya viveka, the simple thing. I mean, if we just see a simple way of analyzing that, today's the Kaivalya Upanishad and all, what we just see that Adi, Madhya, Anta, Vihina. So the Brahman does not have the starting, does not have the middle, and does not have the end. And if you take any of these avasthas, whether it's Jagrat avastha or dream avastha or sleep avastha, it does not exist in all the three times.
Correct. So
And
all the rest of them have got a beginning, end,
beginning, end. Everything has got beginning and end, beginning and end actually. So it does not exist, all the three, this thing. So that simple one word, Adi, Madhya, Anta, Vihina. So that makes this whole See, I mean, that's why sometimes the Shankaracharya, I mean, the Shankara Bashyam or Gaudapacharya Bashyam, and the words sometimes they put in the Upanishads, and that the way things come out and all is very amazing. Like Ekameva Adviti. This is the only way to say that Chandogya Upanishad, what it says, Ekameva Advitiyam. Ultimately, everything is only that Advitiyam, that Brahman only.
Correct.
And that can be realized only by dropping our body, mind, intellect, and all. So we have to do the reverse traveling. And it
Correct.
has to
That's
be
right.
it has to be done through the mind. So the meditation is a very unique process by which we could able to drop the mind, and to some extent we could able to drop the mind. Mind is nothing but thoughts. So, and ultimately we have to drop the mind also. See, I mean, whenever I just go through all this and all this, the Dakshinamurti Srotam, Viswam Darpana Drishyama Nagari Tulyam Nijam Antargatam. So it has to be seen within ourselves only. Subject cannot be realized because subject has no attributes. So if there is
Yes.
any attribute, then you will be able to thread along. You will be able to catch that. When there is no thread, it is a threadless actually, and you yourself is the subject, and everything is happening in front of you. To be very honest, actually, one cannot see one's own face. You have to, whatever you see is only a reflection.
Mhm.
Viswam Darpana, that's what I mean. Physically, we cannot see our own face. Whatever we see is a reflection.
Yeah.
So it has to be Nijam Antargata. That's, I mean, extraordinary way. So this Adhyasa Apavada, so it has to be intellectually done, and it's a great way. I mean, I've seen few other Kārikās and all that. They're very, very powerful.
Correct.
38
you, Venkat.
Kārikās, we have to negate actually. It's like a transformation of the mind. That is what I say. It's like purification of the mind.
Knowledge ends in the transformation. See,
Yeah,
what
it's a,
happens is this knowledge ultimately ends with your transformation in your own mind.
of your own mind. It's a
Correct.
purification of the mind, whatever you say, the gunas and all that.
Correct.
This is a guna, nirguna rahita, basically. So
Yes.
we have to achieve to that particular state. Thanks, Shekhar.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you. Yeah, Bharat, you have said something in the chat box. You want to expand on that?
I was just making a small comment observation that just before waking, there is this sense of presence, and you can almost feel you know, like initially there's an awareness of absence of blankness of anything, but then slowly but surely you start feeling your bed, your pillow, you kind of start noticing the arousal of the mind. I don't know if anyone else experiences this. It's just an experience. I don't think it's too important, but the point I really wanted to make is that in these Kārikās, I like what Gaudapada is saying. You know, what is not present, you know, like what is not present at the beginning, at the end, is certainly not present in the middle, and what is impermanent is also Mithya, and that kind of correlates really nicely with Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 16, where Lord Krishna is talking about that the real can never be non-existent. So whenever I read these particular Kārikās, I always like to think of it as you know, although Mithya is being pointed out, the opposite of Mithya, reality, is that which can't be negated. It's choicelessly always there.
Correct. See, that is the intellectual understanding we have from the Upanishads. That Mithya means that it cannot exist independently. It has to have a substratum. It has to have a adhishtanam and adhara as a substratum on which it exists. And that substratum is my real nature. Now, this knowledge is what we have to appreciate from the Upanishad, which reveals the truth. See, Atma subject can never be an object, but through this knowledge of Mithyatvam of the world and the inference we draw that Mithya cannot stand by itself and it has to have Satyam behind it, that Satyam is me. That Satyam is what is Turiya.
I know this is in chapter 2 it employs a lot of logic, but I don't know if this is helpful or not. But I thought it was interesting that as a pramana, Anumana pramana inference is based on a prior perception. That's the only way to make Anumana inference. Like, there is fire on the smoke. There's smoke on
Correct. Yeah.
the mountain. So because you've perceived the fire beforehand, only then can you make that Anumana. And I think likewise, Gaudapada is able to use this Anumana because the prior perception is knowledge of oneself, that
Correct.
you are in every experience. That's why the Anumana works.
Yeah, you're right. Because Anumana is standing on your own personal experience of I am. You see, that I
Exactly.
am is
Yeah.
always there. You can relate that inference with your experience of I am, which
Yeah.
is what you are saying that you are experience your pure being as soon as you wake up from sleep.
Yeah.
You are experiencing your pure self as pure awareness before your mind gets involved with the time of the clock and or the your what is the next step you have to get into. Before your mind throws up any other thought, first thought is I am. That
Yeah.
I am is Turiya. That is the self-awareness, and that is what is revealed to us by the study of Upanishads. Our mind can independently cannot go into that direction of Atma of Turiya. But with the help of this mantras, it we can get into those realms which normally our mind can never go.
May I make one more point, Shakarji, please?
Yeah.
I'll be very quick. Um, Recently, I heard the entire Mahabharata. It's
Yeah.
a short 3-hour ceremony. It's absolutely fascinating. I'll be very glad to send you the YouTube link if you want to circulate it. And in between, like when it comes to the Kurukshetra war, the Bhagavad Gita side, there is obviously there's that. But then the Mahabharata continues for the 18 days of war, and it's amazing. It's like you can't tell who's good or who's bad. There's gods helping the good guys, there's demons helping. So there's gods helping the bad guys, there's demons helping the good guys. It's kind of like all over the place, right? And
Yeah.
at the end, basically everybody dies.
Yeah.
Arjuna dies, everyone dies, Bhishma dies, everyone. And when you look at those final storylines in the context of the Bhagavad Gita, it really hammers in what Lord Krishna was saying in chapter 2, that everything is happening. Samsara is going to happen no matter what. Even the good morals, the bad morals, the high ethics, the low ethics. It's all based around the I am, the Atma, your presence. There's nothing really to get involved in, and even if you do, it's okay.
Correct. See, getting involved with the Mithya world is okay.
Yeah.
But understand, I am the Adhishtanam, I am the Atma, I am
Yeah.
is the truth.
Yeah.
World is Mithya. It doesn't matter. Let me get involved. Let me see movies. Let me go and, the world is given to us.
It really made sense, like the last few words of Lord Krishna to Arjuna in chapter 18, when he says, now do whatever you want to do. Now that Arjuna understands Atma, do what you have to do.
Mm.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you for giving us what you have what you have learned from the Mahabharata. Thank you. I think there's no other questions or no other things on the. We'll continue our session on Mandukya next week. For those who are interested to know, I have finished the summary of the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter in the Saturday sessions. I'm going to do the last chapter next week, the fourth chapter summary. It's a short summary. So if you are interested in to know what is the fourth chapter, if you're new, you can attend the Saturday session. Otherwise, we will anyway be doing that on Sundays sometime in future. Thank you. Namaste.
Hari Om.
It was very nice. Today's discussions were very beautiful.
Thank you, Shekharji. Namaste.
Thank you, Hari Om.
Thank you, Shekharji. Thank you, Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakaji.
Thank you.